today. From Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, it's Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Drew Lock and the Denver Broncos taking on Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in playing reasonably well. Losers the last time out, but winners of 4 of 5 before that. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the inline, so it'll come out to the 25. Here comes the Bronco offense with Drew Lock from Missouri in charge.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
On 1st and 10, here's Lock. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
To try again after the sack. Lock. Completes it to Fant on the right side. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. It's a big play there for the Broncos. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. They look to throw. It's Lock. He's got his tight end Fant. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. Well, and you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
Block going to give to Williams on the draw. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here we go with Williams. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. To throw it is Locke. Throw right side is going to be caught by Judy. And the Broncos are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
Touchdown, Broncos! K.J. Hamler, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. That one was an extended drive. 14 plays all told. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. Fields on first down. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second down, it's Pollard. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. We'll get that to Amir Smith-Marset. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 2nd down, Pollard. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
1st down, and it's Pollard again. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Pollard going to try the right side. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And I think he's a guy, if they had let him walk, no one was going to be shouting from the top of a mountain. But he's a good guy. He's a good locker room guy, too.
Good locker room and a good player. I mean, he's a valuable starter for them. And if you just want to start over and maybe bring in someone new, the learning curve might be a little bit big. So it's a good job by getting him taken care of. And now they can move forward.
Flushed out right. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. David Njoku, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone. So give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. 5-3 their record at the halfway point, and you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple things working against them, and number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two,
and this throw will be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. They'll run left with Pollard, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
moment, I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to fight defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They snap it to Fields. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And incomplete on the deep ball. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game. But you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscore. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah, you can almost hear the cheerleaders doing the be aggressive chant behind him, and he listened to it.
And this one is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. On to punt, Jamie Gillen. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.
And
touchdown, Chicago. Marquise Goodwin, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bears have taken the lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go. Throwing on first down is Locke. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Locke. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So 3rd and long now for Locke and the Broncos following the sack. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Taken from just outside the 30. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Bears take over. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shout along the way, too.
That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
Santos with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. "30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Block going to throw. This is Hamler on the receiving end. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Go, Mike 51. Mike 51. Hey, let's calm down. Hey.
Now Locke. He'll drop this down to Williams, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On 1st down, Locke. This one swung out to Williams. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Mike 51. Mike 51. Let's go, D. 51's Mike. Mike 51.
To throw again on 2nd down. Locke. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Locke looks to throw it again. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go to the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
Point after here coming up. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Amir Smith-Marset now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. He sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 35.
Oh, boy, you ain't
and
got
he's
no
in
feet.
for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown 1 play later. How about that?
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. Taking it about the 1. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
On first down, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And some room to work.
That's what it is, baby. That's what
Chicago. Tony Pollard with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing now is Locke. Staying on his feet. Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it, changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And now headed the other way, they're across midfield. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They're continuing to rock and roll, and at intermission, you know, maybe sometimes you fear after such a good first half of a letdown, but that wasn't the case.
And what I remember most about being in those situations is exactly what you're talking about. You almost have that sense of satisfaction. You're like, we're doing really well. I remember one time someone saying, winning's fun, but so is playing really well. Why would we want to do otherwise? That was the message, to keep the intensity up, to keep things going, and that's exactly what we're seeing here from this team.
Yeah, it's helped them extend their lead. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash.
And he coughed it up. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, number one on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third, that right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Locke. This is the tight end Fan. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they? Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On 2nd and 12, Locke. He's got it to Williams. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll make it 3rd down. Locke now to throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Locke to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Williams. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Locke's throw here into the hands of the receiver, Judy. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 16. Is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Williams. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far. and it's cost them.
Williams going to get it again on second down.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Block working out of the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Williams.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Williams again.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
Javonte Williams
with his 16th touchdown of the year.
And the Broncos have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
No problem there on the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. That one in the books as a 12-play drive.
And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They've got the 2-score lead. Look, though, they fumbled last possession, led to a touchdown. So while things look good here at this stage in the 4th, they got to be careful.
They definitely do, because they've actually brought them back into it, haven't they? They've given them hope once again. Their focus on this drive, squash that hope one more time.
Now this will go for 5 up to the 33.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Gonna run again here with Pollard.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Pollard now a 1st down and more.
And finally marked down at the 42-yard line.
85 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bears are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. So that drive there, CD, a good response, and that might be the one that gets them to the finish line, a comfortable lead.
Yeah, and that's all about not letting the team back into a game, because they just gave up a touchdown. It was back to a 2-score game, and anything can happen in that situation. But instead, they came through with a really terrific drive right there that ended in 6. So you like to slam the door on teams. In this case, they're trying to lock it as well.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Lock's throw there, complete to Hamler.
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Locke.
Going right back to Hamler.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Locke now on 1st down. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Oh, no.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Back to throw. Block. This will be caught. Judy. And they got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to let this one go deep. Yeah, he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bears turn that interception into a touchdown.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Santos with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Then he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Pressure coming for Locke.
This pass caught by Hamler. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Williams. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. They'll look to throw again. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Akeem Hicks able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Locke's throw taken in by Sutton.
Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. First down marker at the 31. It's third down.
51's Mike. Mike 51.
Looking to throw. Locke. Throw right side, complete to Williams.
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
51. Stop your whining. 51's Mike.
One final try for Locke.
And Locke throws another one. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson.
Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. They'll run on first down. Pollard. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bears, that's now 5 wins on the campaign as they get the job done here. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.